In this video, we are going to create the green transition, and we are first going to use some techniques that we are already familiar with because we used them, we learned them in our, in the pen tool inside Photoshop course. So I'm simply going to grab the pen tool and I'm going to set it to shape, just like so. And I don't think it, or maybe for now, I'm just going to leave it with the white fill and white stroke. Why not? The more important thing is to create the shape itself. We are going to play with the colors a bit later. So what I want to do is I want to click somewhere here off the canvas, somewhere here to create this kind of a shape. And now I'm going to click somewhere here and just click and drag to create something like that. Now I'm going to hold down the Alt key on my keyboard to detach this direction handle and to make it move to the left. Let's call it like that. And now I'm simply going to finish my shape by pressing somewhere here. Click it on this first initial anchor point to close my shape, just like so. Of course, if you don't like how your shape is looking, I'm simply going to grab the direct selection tool right here. And I am going to maybe manipulate these guys just a bit, maybe something like so, but maybe not too much. We can play around maybe with this guy and make it something like that. Okay, this should be fine. You can play around with these direction handles all day long, and I think that it's going to be easier for you if you've seen my pen tool inside Photoshop. But for this project, I'm just going to keep it brief, keep it quick, because more important things are still to come. So I got this shape created right here. Okay, so what I want to do right now is I want to give this shape a different color. So I'm going to go to, again, the rectangle tool option right here, and maybe I'm going to get rid of the stroke while I'm here. And for the fill, I think that I'm going to sample some, well, maybe this green color, and maybe I'm gonna make it even darker to somewhere here. You can choose the green you like better. I'm gonna press OK, just like so. And what I want to do right now is I want to create this kind of a transition that goes from the left to the right. So how can we do that? Well, we actually can do this, can do it in two different ways. The first one is going to be easy, and the second one is going to be a bit more complicated, but not too complicated. And but what we need to understand first, before we actually start doing this kind of a transition, we need to understand one thing. Well, for this effect to work, we will use the masking inside Photoshop, and the only thing you really need to understand about masking in order to understand how it works is that white shows and black covers. So let me repeat that: white shows and black covers. So wherever there is white on your mask, you are going to show something that is beneath the mask, and wherever there's black on your mask, you are going to hide something that's beneath the mask. So in our case, if I just go to the layers panel and I simply click on this add a layer mask option right here, you can see this thumbnail that has just a white over it. So if I now just go to the gradient panel, and I'm going to initialize the gradient tool right here, and you can see that I got this simple black and white gradient set up here. And if I now just, while being on my mask right here, I need to be sure that my mask here is active. And if I just start clicking something like that, you can see that I'm actually creating this kind of a transition, because I'm on the left we got some white color, and on the right we got black. And as we already know, white shows and black hides. So in our case, white is going to show this green color of our shape, and black is going to hide it. And we are going to make this kind of a transition just like so. So there you go. This is how we can create this kind of, maybe if I just turn off the guys, you'll see everything better. This is how we can create this kind of a transition using the masking and the gradient. But of course, I might have showed it to you a bit too fast. So let me just go to the layers, to the masks panel, well, to the layers panel. But I'm going to delete this layer mask. So let's do that one more time. I have my shape selected, and I'm going to go down here and add a layer mask, just like so. And I'm going to go to the gradient panel, and I'm going to make sure that I have this simple black and white gradient selected. You can have a different gradient selected, but for now let's just stick to plain black and white. And I'm just going to click and drag somewhere here to create this kind of a transition effect. And of course, we could play around with this all day long, trying to make this well, transition look the way we want, but I am going to leave it up to you because I want to show you a different way of achieving this kind of a transition and how we can actually well, give ourselves some more flexibility when creating this kind of these transitions. I mean, we are going to use the layer mask, of course, but we are going to use the brush tool in order to make this transition even smoother, even more professional, even more advanced. So if that's something that you're interested in, just keep watching.